Hello, my name is Budget. I had a phone call from a Sergeant Kiss of the RCMP detachment today. I called to make a criminal code violation complaint, of which he decided this single incident didn't worth doing anything about. Did nothing, which is the same response I've gotten for the past 4 years. So when does the RCMP decide to do something about these complaints? I was told by this officer that they do not criminalize civil matters. Well, there was two children that were kidnapped from a father in Alberta in February of this year, I believe, and the children were missing for a month because the RCMP failed to act. The children were found in BC, and the aunt and grandmother were charged criminally under Section 281, 282, and 283 of the Criminal Code of Canada. And those were because the aunt and the grandmother had helped harbor and keep the child from the father in contravention of a court order. So the RCMP does make criminal charges against people related to civil matters. I guess Sergeant Kiss just decided that this case didn't merit it. And part of the reason that he didn't think it merited uh, any criminal charges was the fact that he thought family court was looking after this matter. And when I mentioned to him that not only have I suffered from abuse, but my children have suffered from abuse as well, he was kind of shocked. Said, "Well, what did the family court do with that?" I said, "Well, we haven't had a trial yet. I've gone many times and I've made emergency applications that have been denied. So the courts wouldn't allow me to present any evidence or speak to the matter. Although my ex has made numerous emergency applications, and one of which where she was granted sole custody of the children on false reports that she made to the RCMP. The RCMP passed on those false reports to Child Protection. I have the report the officer, Jean Luc K, from the Granby Westfield Detachment, provided to the intake of Child Protection Services in New Brunswick, where he provided only information, false information was provided to him by my ex, and none of the information that I provided him when he met with me to investigate the allegations that were made about me. So because of that officer's passing on of false information and not properly investigating, I lost custody of my children. Now the RCMP are not doing anything to help me when court orders are violated, and I am not getting the calls from my children in compliance with the court order, or if any violations of the court order happen, they just say, go to court. We don't do anything. These are criminal code violations, just like the aunt and grandmother. They are making the assumption to not do anything based on the fact that the family court will handle this. This is why I'm making the documentary. There has been a judge who has hijacked my case and has made all the decisions against me in my family matters. There has also been one judge who has made decisions against me in a criminal matter. There was also a second judge who failed to act because he felt the first judge had made his decision based on some merit. When I have the recording, that the judge based it on no merit whatsoever, just on his personal opinions and feelings, which is not acceptable in a criminal venue. Even in family court situations, that's not acceptable. You have to make decisions based on the evidence, not in the fear of a story that's been told to you. This is why I'm making the documentary. I hope to show how the police, the RCMP, child protection, lawyers, all these different people and agencies, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, social workers, how all these people are involved in a divorce trying to protect children. And all of them are assuming the other party is doing their job. And if someone fails to do their job, it's a domino effect. All the other agencies fail to do their job as well. because they assume that everyone else has done everything right. I've documented the failures of the system. I can show the people, the agencies, and how this continues to happen. Anyone who has suffered from alienation knows this process. It's the people that aren't aware of the process, that haven't suffered from alienation, that need to be aware of this so they can help the people that are suffering from alienation. This is a global issue, and it's just gaining recognition around the world. Some countries have already criminalized parental alienation, withholding children from parents, violating custody and access orders, interfering with the growth and development of a child by coercive and manipulative behavior, and trying to turn that child against a loving, caring parent and one whole side of their family, which also helps to destroy that child. People need to know how damaging this is to children and do something to help. Again, this is why I'm making the documentary. I plan on using a lot of the information I have collected to show where the failings are in these agencies and how they failed to properly assess the situation and deal with them. And that's part of it. Not all situations can be dealt with the same. And with you're dealing with high conflict divorces, which was recognized back in 1997 with the For the Sake of the Child program by the Department of Justice. They recognized that about 5% of cases average across the country will not resolve by normal methods and will need to go to trial. These are high conflict cases. I've been going through a divorce process myself for almost 6 years. The divorce is finalized, but still there is legal action going on related to the divorce that has not had a trial in the full, going on 6 years since this all began. So they have managed to keep this from being recognized as a high conflict divorce by having case conference after case conference and dealing with emergency motions and putting off trials to deal with false allegations and emergency applications to the court. This has helped to cause a great amount of emotional and psychological damage to myself and to my children and to my family. This is what happens when agencies assume other agencies are doing their job and helping other people. Nothing gets done, and the case goes on. People continue to be abused. I'm going to point out all of those abusers in this documentary so that everyone else can learn to identify them in their own area when they're dealing with these situations. Take care. Good luck. Stay strong. Remember, you're not alone.